This tutorial is for how to sew the Omega Quilt's curvy seams a little quicker by skipping pins. First, set your machine's needle up-down button to down. If your machine doesn't have one, that's okay. Just hand crank your machine's wheel towards you so that the needle is down every time you stop sewing. Also, decrease your stitch length about 2 clicks down from where you normally piece, so to about 1.8. Line up the first little bit of the seam, as much as you can, which probably is only an inch or so. Be sure that the top straight edges where you start sewing are aligned at the stitching line, which is a scant 1/4 inch in from the curvy edges. Start sewing and sew all the way up to just where the edges start to go in different directions. Stop, lift your presser foot, and move the edges to get the next part lined up, as much as you can. Then lower the presser foot, and again sew all the way up until the next place where the edges diverge. In curvier sections, like this first part, you'll need to stop more often because the edges are more different here. You can see why you want the needle down before you raise the presser foot. Once the presser foot is up, the needle holds the fabric in place. When you get to the straighter parts, you won't need to stop as much, because you can line up more of the seam at one time. You might not even have to lift the presser foot when you stop. Clip into the seam allowance about every 1 or 2 inches, being careful not to cut the stitching or any part of the block hiding underneath. I'm just showing the last part, but you want to clip the whole seam. The clips will help the curved edges lay nice and flat when you press the seam allowance open. Repeat those steps to sew your Omega block. Check out the caption for even more details and visit missmake.com/shop to buy the Omega Quilt Pattern.